guys, right, welcome to yoga for the next 4 weeks. So May's yoga program, what Jay and I have discussed is that you will be working through the same 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes sequence or practice each time. Some of you already do additional classes as well with me, but every time on a Tuesday or at least once a week. If you can do it more, then brilliant. We're going to work on really good hip openers, and the fact that you repeat it each week, I really want you to try and identify the improvements and the progress that you make after that 4th or that 5th week, depending on how the month falls, obviously. So you're going to need a strap ready. What we're going to work on is a little bit of pranayama to begin with, so that's that breath work. I think it's really good if you can try and settle yourselves, settle your physical body, take a rest, and also give yourselves some space in your mind. It doesn't mean that you have to be still, you have to quiet it. You need to just try and find a place at which you can, find stillness. Stillness of the physical body to like resist twitching around and fidgeting and everything else. And just really just try and, we'll do a couple of things in a moment. Just try and work through some of the chit chat that you've got going on in your heads and know that that's okay to have that going on. So let's get straight into the practice. You can either start by laying down on your mat, taking Shavasana, or you can sit comfortably, cross-legged, or maybe find a wall. We're going to have 4 or 5 minutes just opening the practice with just trying to find some space, some peace of mind, okay? So begin to just shuffle down, take yourselves gently to lay on your backs with the palms facing up or the palms facing down. Take up space with the legs. So come to a place where the ankles feel that they're comfortable and supported, the hips feel comfortable and supported. I'm going to stay in a seated position for this, and I like to sit with my hips just raised onto a brick and then taking Sukhasana, that cross-leg pose. So we open up the practice, taking a moment just to begin to get really comfortable with laying and knowing that you haven't got anything else to do at the moment other than to find some stillness. So to find some comfort in being still. All you need to do, as if you were about to go to bed, is lay and do nothing else. There is nothing being asked of you. You do not need to be anywhere else for the next, well, we'll say 25 minutes, but for the next definitely foreseeable 3-4 minutes. You're not going to have to move. I'm not going to ask you to do anything else, but just to lay there or sit there and be as you are. So if you think that you've chosen a position that actually isn't quite comfortable, then adjust it. Okay, we're not statues, we don't need to become absolutely static, but what we don't want to do is constantly have this need to fidget, itch, change how our bodies are positioned, like as a get out clause, as a I better just keep moving. Take this first 30 seconds or a minute to just get super okay with the position you're in. And then when you're ready and you feel like you don't longer need to make any adjustments to the body, I just want you to try and focus on the breath coming in and the breath coming out. And we're going to add a retention of breath in a moment. So it's a really nice practice to work on your breath, holding and then exhaling for a longer count. So we're working this in my other yoga practices this week as well, in the other classes. So if you've done that, you'll be a little bit more familiar with it. So when you're ready and you'd like to just start working on the breath, we're going to take just one full breath in and out. Just letting it all go. And then when you're ready, we're going to try and count an inhale of 2 counts. So breathe in, 1, 2. You're going to pause, hold that breath in for 2, 1. Release for 4. And again, in for 2. pause for 2 and out for 4. So that's your count of 4. It's super personal to you, but try and think of them as a gentle count, clearly not a rushed count. This is all about being in control. Regaining control of your breath, which is an important practice to become more aware of mastering, to be able to control your emotions, and just keep that breath work going as I just gently chat to you. Just reminding you of the benefits of being able to manage the rate at which we transfer oxygen in to where it's needed in our bodies, and then releasing what isn't needed. And that heightened, rushed breath can be of benefit when we are needing to fight at competition and you need the transference of energy through the breath to move at a higher rate, and the body's working and the muscles are working at a higher intensity. But to be able to not let that get carried away and to be able to regain control or know that you can get control back when it's really important, and to really use a point of rest to lengthen the breath again, will be really beneficial to your fighting, the way at which maybe you prepare for a competition. I'm talking literally the few minutes beforehand when the nerves really kick in and you let that breath get really high in the chest. Push it back down. Know that you're in control of that. So learning to go back to the count of breath, holding it in and really enjoying that moment at which you've got hold of that breath and you can release it when you're ready. A few more moments here. And 2 more cycles of breath, with breath in for 2, hold for 2, out for 4. When you've completed them, release any retention, that hold of the breath, that pause in between, and just let the body just resettle into a natural rhythm of breath in and out. And then everybody come to lay on your backs. We're getting straight into our hamstring stretches, so grab for that belt or strap, laying on your backs, drawing up that right foot, strap around the widest parts of your foot, keeping the left knee bent, sole of the foot flat to the floor, extend the strap, take the hands either side, draw those shoulders into the ground, fully extend all of the back, belly in, so there's no little pockets of air underneath. We're really super flat, and flex the ankle here, active ankle, pushing away that sole of the foot to the sky, and we are going to give it a good solid hold in this hamstring extension. So if that feels like that's okay in your right hamstring and the right hip are feeling fairly comfortable, you start to draw the toes up and overhead to keep that extension through the hamstring. Perhaps you slide away the left leg and begin to feel the further deepening of that extension into the right side and maybe across the top front of the left thigh. So you're just going to breathe into these stretches. Now my advice would be to try and get in these sets of 3 stretches on both legs, obviously to maintain balance, but a couple of times in the week if you can. If you can just remember to maybe when you are watching a bit of telly, to just have that strap handy and to just go into one of these, even if you just get one done, and you can start to hold it for longer, becoming more comfortable with the hamstring extension. then you'll definitely see the benefits, feel the benefits at the end of this first cycle in May. So we're getting deep into our hips. You need to continue to adjust the strap, keep pushing that sole of the foot up and away from you so it stays active, and then you can soften and release, push it away, finding the breath, soften and release and get a little bit more out of it. Keep that going. I'm just working to make sure that we're doing well with our times here. So about 30 seconds more, right lengthening sensation, shoulders down and connected. Recheck in with your back and just carry on breathing. So this in itself, where you're not being asked to do too much, it's not too complicated for the brain will start to begin to have a little chat with you, whether it is about directly the stretch that you're doing or whether it's about what you've done earlier today, what you're doing tomorrow, what you should be doing, what you could be doing. Just don't get cross with any of those thoughts, sort of let them float in and float out, just accept that they're there. You don't need to be quiet of mind. You just need to be able to find some peace and stillness when we're holding these stretches. So when you're ready, let's open up this stretch to the right side. So take the strap into the right hand, fully open, nice big semicircle with that right hip. Take it all the way down to that right side and extend your left hand out. Now try and re-anchor the left side of the body. So the left heel, if you can, the left hip, left shoulder. Just loosen into that right hip slowly, releasing. And here once more, imagining those right toes aiming up towards the tip of your head or the top of your mat, as if they were pointing to that area, so keeping that active leg. Now that soft bend in the knee might still need to be there if the hamstrings feel way too tight. Obviously you've got your strap, so you can really adjust the distance, the length at which your leg is open to this side. Just keep breathing, soften into the belly, and if you want, adding a further stretch would be to lift and lengthen that left arm up and overhead, and then you've got this lovely lengthening sensation from the left fingertips down to the left foot. You can keep that there, or then take the left hand back out to a nice big side T, hand down or hand up. Just keep breathing into that right hip. And another nice focus is to visit the breath work that we were doing, and to now breathe in. Imagine the breath coming down through the body, pausing in that right hip, taking the retention, and then exhaling along that right hamstring, out through the sole of the foot or the toes. Releasing, softening. Another few moments. When you're ready, bending the knee, inhaling, sweeping the leg up and over, passing the strap into the left hand, and then drawing the right foot over the left hip. So we don't let it collapse all the way out to that left side. Extend the right arm this time, just to anchor down. Reset that hip down to the floor. Don't let it come away from the floor, so stay nice and heavy. We're just taking this foot towards number 11 on a clock. If we had a clock face. And just getting to that point at which we really feel a nice sensation down the back of the leg. When I say nice, I'm talking about not necessarily pleasurable, but you can really identify what feeling is occurring in the back of the leg there, hamstring, outside of the ankle, the knee. Softening into the back of the shoulders, make sure they're not holding the tension or the stress of the stretch. And then when you're ready, we're going to pass that right leg and let it sweep and fall down to that left side, taking a really lovely twist. release the strap. Let the right knee bend if that feels good, or you can catch hold of your toes there with your left hand, but open out that right side. Take your gaze towards the right side where it's coming into this lovely twist, the supine twist. Just release through the back. Slowly bend that knee, sweep it in. Bend both legs, gently fold them in towards the chest, give a gentle rock, left to right as you sweep the arms around, really take hold, big cuddle, big sweep around, nose towards the knees to curl in the back of the body there. Release back down, bend your right knee, foot finds the floor, and then we go over to that left side. So same on the left side now, making sure you do your adjustments according to your better or worse side, or the side that's more comfortable. Start with that flexing of the ankle, sole of the foot up to the sky, keeping that right knee bent for as long as you need it, or fully extending the right heel away. You should keep that wonderful extension into the left leg. Ground down through the hips, ground down and soften through the shoulders, back of the body. Just take some full breaths in and out and begin maybe to work back to that breath cycle of in for 2, pause, and out for 4. Just check the timer, so we're doing the same on each side. As always, adjusting. Don't just become complacent with your stretches and just sort of now forget about what you're doing. Let the back of the hamstring soften off, let the knee bend, forget about the activity in the foot. Really keep it going, and you'll really benefit from staying focused on your application to and your approach to the poses. We're looking to find improvement in these or progress, so whether that means that you can actually move the leg further or keep a straighter knee for a longer amount of time, or whether it means you just feel more comfortable in the stretch over the next few weeks, the more that you do it. Continuing to breathe, holding that breath in through the hip, releasing along the back of the hip and the hamstring out through the foot or the toe, if that is a good visualization, if that works for you. When you're ready, we're taking that leg all the way out to the left, so passing the straps to the left hand, opening the leg to the left side, releasing it, letting it draw all the way down towards the floor, opening up the right hand, and pause in there with that left extension. Taking our time to work deep into that opening of the left side. Taking a full body stretch with that right arm up and overhead if that feels good to do so. And then when you're ready, gently bending the knee, draw the leg up through the center, and then across that left foot to settle up and over across at number 1 on a clock face, or to come up and over that right hip. So we're just getting that slight angle so that you really feel that stretch along the outside. Just gives a slightly different sensation with just these small tweaks and movements into the hips. And then we're going to release all the way down over to that right side, releasing the strap, taking that wonderful twist. Really love these twists. You can really root down through the shoulders, anchor through that top point of your body, and really feel that unraveling, that twisting of the spine, ironing out any of those kinks, softening into the belly. Then slowly draw up both legs. Take a full body stretch here. Realign the spine. Lengthen through the hamstrings. Bring the knees in and then straight into happy baby. Bending those knees, taking the knees wide either side of the ribs, catching hold of the outside of the shins, the calves, socks. Outside edges of the feet, soles of the feet up to the sky. Nice big bend in the knees there, gently rocking or staying static. If a little bit of a dynamic stretch, a little bit of movement feels a bit better for you with any aches or pains or injuries that you're harbouring, just work through them. Know that you can soften into a stretch with a little bit of movement. It's never a bad thing. Perhaps you begin to extend one leg, getting again deeper into those hamstrings, out to the sides. Rocking left or right, just pausing there in our happy baby pose. Then when you're ready, take a rock and roll all the way up. And come to sit on your bums initially. So once more, you can take the strap around the widest edge of your feet here. Just to aid, draw that chest up. We're coming into a nice forward fold. So make sure that you've stacked your hips a little higher if you need to. Folded blanket, brick, cushion, anything that would be good for you to lift. Nice straight body. Inhale, hinging at the front of the hips there, making sure that you're lifting up and out and drawing that chest forward, sandwiching chest towards thighs. Keeping once more those toes active towards the ceiling initially, softening into it. We're not going to be here for too long, maybe 8 to 10 breaths just to ease into your forward fold. So we've got both legs lovely and straight. But remembering that one may feel a little bit more comfortable than the other. Just gently softening into the shoulders, just try not to hold tension in them. Try to just let them hang out, and rather than holding some stress or grabbing towards that forward fold, feeling like you have to be grabbing for those toes. Just take a breath, soften. 3 to 4 further breaths here. Slowly coming up. And then come to stand. We're just going to work into using a little bit of a flow between some movements to give us a really lovely energetic feeling through all of the bodies, but to continue with working hamstrings and hips. So we're going to take a full body inhale and extension. Feet hip distance apart or really together. Reach for the sky. Exhale, big forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands find the floor. You step back with your left leg. Lower down that knee. Inhale, reach up. Hands come high or onto that right hip. Really important to get your left knee far away so that you can really deepen in as you lower down the hips. Hip crease on that right side is a big, deep fold. Keep the chest square. Reaching over with the left arm to the right side. Releasing down, we're tracking back, getting into that half splits here. Rolling forward, lift and lengthen. Once more stretch. Lower back down. Pick the toes up. Push forward, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to stand. Exhale, straight down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, right leg this time. So remember, right knee goes back as far as you can. Lower the knee, inhale, lift. Hands to the thigh or reach to the sky. Exhale, track that hip back, extend, half splits, left side. Come forward, inhale, lift. Right arm up and over to the left, getting that twist in. Release down. Half splits, forward, tuck toes, lift the knee, push up, forward fold, inhale, reach to stand. So I want you to try and repeat that, so we'll go through it once more, repeat it a good few times. Release, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, left foot back, lower the knee. Inhale, lift, arms, stretch left arm over to the right, release down, track back into half splits, toes to the sky there, big extension into that right leg, forward, lift, arms up, stretch to that left side, lovely stretch down the left side of the body, hands frame the right foot, pick up the knee, stand up to forward fold. Inhale, lift, straight back down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, step back this time, right leg. Lower the right knee. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift. Reach to the sky. Left arm lowers, right reaches. So curve. Release down, hips back, half splits. Track forward, deepen that low lunge, arms lift, left arm down, right arm over. Release, half splits. So if you're progressing and the splits is in your practice or you're aiming for, then there's the good place to add that in. Tuck toes, lift knees, step up, forward fold, inhale up to stand. Hands through heart center. So I want you to be able to repeat that. So this is the part at which you go at your own rate. I want you to be able to repeat that a good 2 or 3 more times, remembering the flows each side, and then you complete it with your sequence coming up to stand. So take your time to really work into the points at which you need to, for yourself. So is it hips, is it hamstrings, is it a bit of everything? Just really work through that, and then take a moment at the end to lie back down on the floor and just return to that cycle of breath breathing where you breathe in, you hold for 2 and out for 4, and see if you could just do that for a couple of times to finish your practice, reset with the breath and just calm the brain. Let me know how you get on with this practice, and I'll be in touch again real soon, and we'll see how everyone's hamstrings are feeling. Namaste.